What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And before we get into the video today, let me just say I thank each and every one of you out there who listens to the channel, supports it, likes it, subscribes to it. Thank you so much for enjoying the content. You are the reason why I do this. You are my light. You are my energy. You are the reason why I keep going with this. So thank you so much for that. Now, let's get into this video. This here is Miss Jana Hawkins. Miss Jana Hawkins wrote an article in the New York Post saying why her and other women are no longer dating lonely single men. Now, that statement in and of itself is not the issue, but as always, we tell the truth on this channel because we are about the truth, nothing but the truth, so help us please. So, we will go into the reasons why she and other women are supposedly no longer dating lonely single men. But as you start to read and dissect the reasons why they are not doing it, this is when you find out that it is absolutely and utterly ridiculous and lunacy. Modern women coping at its finest. So let's bring up the article here that Miss Jana Hawkins wrote. And because it's the New York Post, it is a media conglomerate. They always have, and it's not just New York Post, Washington, any media outlet that you go to, main publicized conglomerate media outlet. They're always pushing their agenda. They're always pushing their propaganda. New York Post is a left-leaning, feminist, propaganda-pushing news outlet, so the stuff that we're about to read lines up with their agenda. So this is Miss Jana Hawkins who wrote the article, and of course she has some simp help, which they always get, a psychologist who backs up her ridiculous claims here. So let's go into the article and see why modern women are no longer dating lonely single men, according to Jana Hawkins. So here's the article. Woman says why she's rejecting these lonely single men. And women never speak in a vacuum. If you watch my videos and even watch other people's content, women are not individual thinkers. When one woman speaks, she is speaking for the large majority because women move in social circles. They are not individualistic. They make sure they do and say things that don't upset the hive. So when she says why she's rejecting these lonely single men, that translates to why most modern women are rejecting these lonely single men. She does not come to this conclusion on her own. She gets amongst her group, amongst her social circle. They talk amongst each other. They go and talk amongst other people they know. Women are extremely catty. So this is the murmuring that's going on amongst women. And as you can see, if you look at this date here, this is actually from a year ago. And I want to point that out because I could find and have seen many articles of videos saying ridiculous things just as this from years ago. That lets you know that this has been a problem and this has been a cope that's been going on for years now, for decades actually. So men speaking out about these things is new, but the cope that women have been doing is old. So let's scroll down in the article and see some of the things that she's saying. Rejecting these lonely single men. Look at this subheading here. Toxic men are out and respectful studs in, says Jana Hawkins. So I guess this is the toxic man. He's got a cigarette. His vest is open. He's got shades. So I guess these are the guys that are out now that she's no longer dating. Funny enough, this guy's actually a Chad. This is the exact guy that they actually date. But let's read the article and we'll humor Miss Jana Hawkins for a bit. Unless you were hiding under a rock this week, you would have read about an article published by Psychology Today titled The Rise of Lonely Single Men. So Psychology Today wrote an article about the rise of lonely single men. So they know it's an issue. So they can't feign stupid here. They can't play dumb. They can't act like they don't know what's going on. They know that there is an issue with men in this country, that the large majority of men are not in relationships. The large majority of men are unable to obtain and keep relationships, let alone get married and start families. So Psychology Today is acknowledging that there's a problem. Let's see if they're honest about why this problem exists. It was written by psychologist Greg Matos. So he wrote the article in Psychology Today titled The Rise of Lonely Single Men. And Greg Matos revealed that dating opportunities for heterosexual men are diminishing as relationship standards rise. So far, so good. So far, so good. This is absolutely true. This is why heterosexual relationships have declined, because the standards have risen. Who raised the standards? Women raised the standards to an insurmountable bar that most men cannot meet. If you watch other channel content creators, specifically Fresh and Fit, they do this thing where they do this what's it called? It's like a delusion calculator or something. They have women come in there and say what they want in a man, and then once they're done putting in the height, race, age, income level, it then spits out the probability of them finding a man like that in this country. So far, so good. The standards have risen to insurmountable proportions where most men cannot meet them. So men that cannot meet these standards are having a tougher time getting in relationships and even maintaining them. So far, Greg is honest. Let's see what else he got. The psychologist explained that women are now only dating men who share the same values, have great communication skills, and are emotionally available. So we get to the third paragraph, and then the simping starts. Greg, I'm so disappointed here. Okay. The standards have risen, and Greg is saying the reason why women or men are single is because the standards risen, and the standards that women now have is that they're only dating men who share the same values, have great communication skills, and are emotionally available. This is what really makes me mad, especially as a man, because men will always sell one another out. When it comes to women, when it comes to money, like, he's a psychologist too. Think about that. He's a psychologist. That means he has 12 years of schooling. He's got a degree. I'm sure he took some kind of oath. So he has an accolade as a psychologist. And you mean to tell me, with whatever oath he took, with ethics in place, honesty, having character, having integrity, he actually wrote this. He actually wrote that this is the reason. This is why a lot of modern women have the attitudes and the outlook on dating and relationships that they have, because there's always a Greg Matos waiting there to back them up, to feed into their delusion and to feed into the coping mechanisms that they come up with. He said women want men who have great communication skills, but that's simply not true. How do we know that's not true? Because Bella Poarch told us that was not true, and she has 2.3 billion likes and 93 or 96 million followers. Women do not like guys with great communication skills. Tell them, Bella. It's too late, Jana. The word is already out. The secret is already out. Men already know what it is that women really want. So all this babble, all this nonsense and psychobabble that you got yourself and Greg Matos to espouse is not going to work anymore. Men are talking. We have our own spaces. We know the truth. And we got Bella. Great communication and respectable studs are not with what women want. Bella said it herself. We heard it from the horse's mouth. Why is this valid? Because Bella has 96 million followers, 2.3 billion likes. If Bella was not right, Bella would not have this following. Again, guys, people follow who they have a connection with. You don't get 93 million followers and 2.3 billion likes if you are saying something people do not like or something that does not resonate. Bad boys resonate because this is what the majority of modern women like. So when Jana says she wants someone who has great communication skills, emotionally available, respectable studs, that is a lie. That is not what women want. Great communication skills, same values, emotionally available is what women constantly reject, and they're divorcing these men. Now, let's read further down and see what other nonsense Jana wrote. You see, while they were bed hopping, ghosting, breadcrumbing, I actually never heard that one. I have to look up what that means. And doing all sort of mind effery to us, women folk, we were quietly and subtly embracing this self-love culture that started to emerge in TED Talks, TikTok videos. Remember what I said about Nepal banning TikTok, YouTube channels, and various other online forums. Let me read this part again. We were quietly and subtly embracing this self-love culture. Why were they doing that? Because while they were bed hopping, ghosting, and breadcrumbing, and doing all sort of mind effery to us women folk, we were quietly and subtly embracing this self-love culture. And if she means by self-love culture, this...
I've waited for my husband for so many years, and I'm just getting mad, and I'm about to turn 40. There's a lot of stress on me right now.
I know it's all you've got to just be strong. And it's a fight just to keep it together. I know you think that you are too far.
Blood work came back normal, hormone levels are normal, so we're gonna proceed with the process of doing these things.
Hold on,
Did a double injection.
don't let go.
I actually have another injection.
Hey, hold on, don't let go.
Or this.
I'm 46 years old, and while I'm getting ready for surgery and everything, it dawned on me that I'm 46 years old and I don't have a husband to take care of me. Being single and 46 sucks. It just sucks. And I make jokes about buffoons that I have been encountering in dating, but in reality, this is my reality.
Or perhaps she means this. Or perhaps when Jana is talking about self-love, she means this.
No. This is what it looks like. To find out that you've been cheated on for months. I left him.
Let's play it again in case you missed it. Women that are lonely find their copes. She said that they are walking away and immersing themselves in self-love culture. If self-love culture means them crying on TikTok, crying because they're unmarried, crying because they're single, crying because they don't have a family, or them making videos like this woman, making videos about her coping mechanisms that she's using for not being fulfilled. She's got a designer bag around her neck, she's got her dog, and she's got money in her hand. But she has no one to hold her at night, no one to kiss her, no one to lift her up, no one to support her when she's down, no one that makes her feel better when she's going through those dark phases and those dark places in your mind, no one to be there when she hits menopause and she starts to have the change that every woman goes through. No one there to go with her to the doctors when the doctor announces a diagnosis that you don't want to hear. Look at the Christmas tree. It looks like Charlie Brown's Christmas tree. That is not a Christmas tree that you would see at a family's home. Now, in all fairness, it looked like she's at work. And that's the thing with modern women today. Their husband is their work. Their material items, like the bag around her neck and the dog and the wine, is equivalent to their side piece. So if this is what Jana Hawkins means by self-love, have at it, Jana. We certainly won't stop you. But here's the nail in the coffin with Jana's article. Do you see it? Oprah. She says Oprah preached. Whenever you see a woman write an article and she ever references Oprah, you already know the type of woman that you're dealing with. That alone tells you what you're in for. That alone tells you where her mind is at. Anytime they bring up Oprah, you know where you're headed. And it's nowhere good, and nowhere good fast. And if you still wasn't convinced that Jana Hawkins and most modern women are completely out of their mind, then I'm going to give you the cherry on top of this entire article. Where is it? Right here. If you dig into the archives, you will find old articles from women's magazines that would teach women various ways to please their husbands. So she admits that old magazines, old articles, was teaching women, married women, how to please their husbands. What do the modern women say about this now? We now have a laugh and go, thank God times have changed. It's not really so much that times has changed, it's that women have changed. And what used to be appropriate behavior and appropriate things to teach, like teaching a woman how to please their husband, teaching a husband how to please their wife, is now seen today as misogyny. You can't make this stuff up. Do you need more cap? Well, let me oblige you. This is Greg Meadows, the simp psychologist, and this is what he says. Women from the ages of 25 and 45, they prefer men who are emotionally available, here's that cap again, good communicators, and share similar values. Women between the ages of 25 and 45, they prefer men who are emotionally available, good communicators, and share similar values. Except this goes against all the data that we have. It goes against what Bella told us, and we believe Bella. We absolutely believe Bella. And it goes against what we see with our own eyes. The type of men that Greg Matos is trying to tell you that women between the ages of 25 and 45 prefer are most men. Most normal, average men are emotionally available, good communicators, and share the same values as these women. This is not what they want. You know what's funny that Greg Matos didn't mention? The number one thing women are looking for, and that's money. So even if they wanted a man with these qualities, which they don't, Bella already told us this, if he doesn't make the right income, she'll never give him a chance. We've already established that women date up, or they'll date across. They do not date down. Greg, you are a simp and disingenuous. This is not what women look for. This is not what women prefer. They prefer, first and utmost and foremost, a man with resources. That is their number one filter. Resources and height. Women between the ages of 25 and 45 want the same thing women between the ages of 35 and 55 want. A man that's making enough money, a man who is tall enough. That is the most important things that they look for. See how even when women are writing in a magazine that's geared towards women, they still can't tell the truth and they still can't be honest. That a man's income and a man's height is the first thing they look at. If you don't believe me, talk to men who do online dating. They will tell you. Listen to all the other podcasts out there. Listen to men talk to women. Listen to women after woman after woman after woman come on. When they're asked what they want, the minimum amount that a man has to make, the minimal height that he has to be before they would take him seriously, that trumps emotional availability, good communication, and similar values. Women tell you what they think you want to hear. Women will tell you what makes them look good. But the truth is, that's not what women want. Because if women told you this is what they really want,
I love me a bad.
We would look at them differently. You would look at them differently. And what's more important to modern women than the truth is how you perceive them, how you view them, the reputation they can put out there to have you think how they are versus how they actually really are. So Jenna Hawkins, thank you for providing the material. And Bella, as always, thank you for telling us exactly what modern women want. So guys, leave a comment below. I will leave this link if you want to read this article yourself. Let me know what you think. Appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you soon.